This is Official Nerd Business.
Hello, nerd boys and girls. In last episode we set up a little bit of a research post here, kicked off some research. In this video we'll start building our main bus, and to do that we first need to make a smelting array, because a lot of the components we're gonna need in spades, and we need to have a bit of a professional setup. Research is done. We need a bit of professional setup to get things going. So I was looking at the map, considering different places we could bring in all the iron and copper to over here, start smelting here and then run it into a bus. We could set up smelting over here and then make it go round for a bus, because we previously, when I looked at the map, I thought the bus would go in this direction. We could also build here and make the bus go upwards. I believe that wouldn't be much of a problem, though there seem to be some cliffs here. That's the sort of terrain deformity that makes it kind of harder to build there. So I think we should be going in this direction, and I think we should set up smelting right here. Coal is nearby, the iron is nearby, we can bring in the copper a little later on. Yes, the stone probably is in the way when we start to really expand on smelting, but I believe we can work around it. And later, when we're bringing in other ore patches, we can probably set up something of trains up here and then bring them into the same smelting array. So there's room for all of that if we build smelters here. A smelting array basically is a line of there are a lot of ways you can build this. We're just gonna throw something together and see how it works. Since this is official nerd business, we will be watching the numbers. That's what nerds do after all. Let's see. So basically I use the Q key to select the building I already have, to pre-select it and get it on the cursor. Let's see, if we would, for instance, say we want to start out like this. So smelter needs ore and a fuel source, coal. So let's say we'd bring in coal on one line and ore on the other. We would then need a way to mix the two, and I'm gonna need some copper for that. As I said before, copper goes into just about anything, and these green circuits do at least. So let's just, while we're idling, let's build a stack of those. I get the feeling we need more iron too. And since we have such a big stack of coals, let's just go around and feed everything. Right. How is this unit doing? Still fine. Then I also need some stone for more furnaces and electric miners. I have some electric mining drills, that's nice. So let's get all the stone, and let's give you some more coal. Now I'm gonna need a ton of belts. I will be needing some splitters and undergrounds. Yes, this will do for now. For the electric mining drills, I will also need a lot of power poles. Seem to still have a complete stack, so that is all well and good. Let's start by bringing in some power then. Let's bring it down here. till we hit the water. Are we looking? Can we go straight down from here? We will probably hit the water. Can we go straight down from here? Yes, we can. Okay. Electric mining drills. I'm not exactly sure under default circumstances how many electric mining drills there are. We need to fill a transport belt. Let's see how 10 works out. Split off power again. There are several ways in which you could power this. I'm usually a fan of having everything come onto a belt, then put power poles in between, and have undergrounds. Oh, it's the wrong one. This. And we broke the belt to put in the power pole. So let's take our newly crafted undergrounds and do this. New feature in Factorio is when placing an underground, it immediately removes any belt in between. So that's quality of life improvement there. Oh, this one is too far out. No, the power pole is directly in front of it, and this is not right. There. But now these boys need power. Yes. This is a nice and full belt. We will be looking at quantities a little later on. Or will we? Yeah. Now for this we will also need coal. We need a little less coal. A lot of iron ore can be smelted on one coal, so we need less coal than we need iron for 1-on-1. Just waiting here to construct it. Now we're gonna bring in a mixed belt on which one side will have the coal and the other side will have the iron ore, and once these are done smelting them, they will be put into this belt. So here and here the stuff will roll onto the belts, and it will be fed onto those belts by these splitters. One splitter over here and one splitter over. I'm in one too far. I'm slightly too close to do this, so I need to come out one. And that's my belt, so I need more of these. As said before, you need a literal ton of these. Making gear wheels, we will need iron ores coming in from one side, and coal is coming in from another. Not great. It'll have to do. So here's coal. power again for my coal miners. Undergrounds. No, right there. And some fountain. I found one. So there's that. Coal's coming in now. Coal is on one side of the belt only because these guys load on that side of the belt. And the iron is on both sides because it gets fed onto both sides. Right, and then one underground. Running here and turning back in. Now we need to plug in coal on one side and iron ore on the other. Awesome. So these splitters split it into the left side and the right side, other way around. And because they each approach the belt in the center from sideways, they only load that half of the belt. So now we have a nice stack of mixed iron ore. Those were facing the wrong way. Alright, now let's see how we can power all of this up. I usually like to make power pole here. And then with these smaller poles, it's trying to figure out where all of this will get its power. Yes. Alright. Here we go. How's power consumption looking? Still very well. So now we have a first installation for making iron, fully automated. Which really means that we can start to shut this down. And by destroying these ovens, these furnaces, we also get everything that's still in there. So that's that. And we currently have 10 mining drills. Let's see if let's see if 10 of these furnaces can keep up. I requested way too few of these. One of the first things we're going to do is build a factory for both belts and yellow inserters. Okay, looking good. Yeah, I think this is gonna hold for a while. We could do the same for copper plates and then make this run into a or can we do the coppers up here? That might in fact not be a bad idea. That might not be a bad idea at all. I mean, we need to extend power here, so that's gonna run into the copper smelters here then, so we could make them face that way and then turn around again. It's sort of roundabout, but I guess it fit. It would fit better than making a move down here. Yeah, sure. Let's see if we can use a blueprint for that. Well, I usually suck at making blueprints. There's just something very unintuitive about making blueprints in Factorio. Later on, when you're using bolts, etc., it's better. But whenever you're just stamping something down for yourself, it kind of feels off in some way. So let's make some electric mining drills. And let's see what we already have for this. Not enough. Let's see, we need it. Some more furnaces. Can we make that with these undergrounds? Yes, we can. Okay, so we're going to change this to run into the opposite direction. That gives us a clean exit point for everything coming out. It's closer to where we want to have our bus running. These can go. And we need a lot more belts, of course. There. And extending this upwards for in here. So that's the ore input. Let's bring up some coal. We can put a splitter right here and make this run up. These are already in, right? Research is currently not moving. I guess it's because it ran out of iron. So we're gonna take a look at that in a minute. We'll get copper plates here in a minute. Yes. Oh, but I don't have any iron on me. I do have some iron on me. Now I just noticed I'm carrying around a lot of iron ore, but we can get rid of that. We can place a box here. This would not be the neatest solution, but it works. And put our ore in here and have it feed into the machine. It doesn't get prioritized here. Yes, this apparently doesn't really work as intended. So let's think about this for 1 second. We should do what I thought here. Cleanest is to just set it up here. So that this splitter in this case becomes a combiner, and make sure that this runs through. Let's do the same for copper, because I believe I am also carrying around a lot of copper ore. Oh. We've got to connect this bit up. Alright, so that's copper plates and copper ore splitter. Belts, inserter, chest, and dump of my ore. There we go. Oh, apparently I got some power poles too. Yes. Oh. We are now consuming more power than we are producing. At least there's a higher demand than there is a supply. And one boiler can produce enough steam for 2 engines. So we first just want to build a second engine. And we can actually do this again. We just have to have resources to do this. Now these need to be connected onto each other. But you can't because there's a power pole in the way. So what you can do is place them one apart, have the power pole in the middle, and put a smaller pipe in between of them. That way they're still connected and you have room to come in with the power poles so that they can put electricity on the network. One here, one here, this one in between, and a power pole. Just the same as in the other one. This is magic. Some stacks of coal here. And we should now be well in the green. Yes, production. This is the full capacity you can produce. We're producing only 1/5 of what we can do at the moment. And this is how much we are consuming. So if not everything is satisfied, this bar runs back, and this one should be almost full up. So now we have copper on the belt, we have iron on the belt. Let's bring the two together and start building a bus, and then take things off the bus to use in construction. We need to leave some space because we're going to extend this both lengthwise and down below. So we just need to run out here. I think I'm gonna cheat a little bit. Let's see, belts require iron plates and iron gear wheels. And iron gear wheels just require more iron plates. So what I am going to do, there's one very important rule in working with buses, and that's that you never build anything in front of your bus. This is right in front, in the center of my smelting area, and I am going to build things here. So I'm breaking that one very important rule for a moment. I'm gonna build a temporary factory here that makes belts for me, because I am going stir crazy with not having any belts on me. You two will be making gears. Let's see now, because here we are. You need one gear, and one gear needs 2 plates, but the gear only takes half a second to make. This also takes half a second to make, so we're putting in 2 gears and 2 iron plates for 1 belt to form every second. 2 belts every second. Okay, you will be putting this in this, and you will be feeding this back. I need to curve that out, because otherwise the raw components will be fed onto this belt here. So that's nice. And now that we have gear wheels, I'm gonna make another split of this belt. Here. For the actual belts. If I do it like that, my power poles won't be aligned, and that's another thing that's just not done really. So here we are. I mean, you can even see power poles in this map if we enable this, and it needs to be a bit straighter than this in fact. I haven't really looked at it. I'm not gonna look at it now. Pick up these and these. And you can output into this box. Seem to be producing a bit faster than we can take away again. So here we have a fast inserter that certainly speeds things up. Yes, now there's no production being left in the machine and blocking everything. So here we can see the dots of this one bottleneck mod I have installed. This one is yellow, that means it has input but it can't drop its output. Basically this one is doing all the work, so this one is a bit in excess. Let's not get critical now. Alright, so that's belts. Thank heavens. I want to be at least away from the water here. So let's start making a bus up here. Now, it's not uncommon to have 4 belts of iron running into your factory, but since we're a bit of an early stage, let's keep in mind that we want to use 4 belts later on. So let's keep this room here, but let's just take 2 for now. And we also want to bring in our copper from across the water and then start up here. Why not? And we'll take it down here because we need to run the coal through here as well to start feeding these instead of the boxes, so that we can't forget to fill the boxes. And maybe we'll put in a second coal smelt a little later on down here. So for that, coal needs to come a bit back here. And this can go down to, this is the bottlenecking point. And now the belts again. Fortunately we have a belt factory. So let's visit our belt factory. In the time we took to plan this little bit and lay down our last belts, it made 200 new belts for us. This is quite an efficient factory. Let's limit it a bit. You can limit the size of boxes so that it doesn't get stuffed all the way full if that's a bit of overcapacity. Then you can limit it in that way, which is nice. And around the water, you are again out of iron. Do I have plates with me? I do. Let's see if we increase smelting at a later point. Then we would also need 4 belts here, which is at this moment a bit excessive. Again, we also need some space between belts to make split-offs and to just to work it comfortably. Let's take this much space for our first 2 belts to combine here. And same goes for this one. Let's just make 2 belts at the moment, but keep in mind that we want to expand it. So we're behind our stone patch. We could also bring in a line of stone here, but there's not very much things that need stone, so I'm not entirely sure I need to build it right now. Same goes for coal. All we use coal for right now is power production, and we don't need this array anymore. So what we can do once again is fill the box. I am out of boxes. Here's a box. Inserter. Here's all my coal. So that is that. I don't have iron on me. So this is still a bit early gameplay. It's a lot of running around, grabbing things, basic things. Can be a bit grindy at times, but it gets better. It gets a lot better. This. Let's make it. So this is what I was talking about. This will be a line of coal. That is particularly unpretty. Oh well. And there we have our coal feeding into our power station. This is gonna work just fine. So that's it for now. See you next time. Thanks for watching this video on Official Nerd Business. Don't forget to like and subscribe and click the bell icon. Did we discuss everything you wanted to hear, or did we miss anything? Any topics you want to hear in O&B? Leave your thoughts in the comments. See you
next time.